Now, former presidential health advisor Dr. Anthony Nsiah-Asare has dismissed concerns raised by President Mahama and Health Minister Kwabena Mensah-Akando regarding the completion of the Agenda 111 hospital project. According to Dr. Nsiah-Asare, all relevant details, including funding sources, project scope and recruitment, were clearly outlined in the handing over note submitted during the transition. We'll hear from him shortly, but first, here is what President Mahama said during the State of the Nation address.
Mr. Speaker, I'm sad to note that there is no dedicated funding source for such a gargantuan project. There is no dedicated funding source for this gargantuan project. Mr. Speaker, for the record, as I speak, not a single Agenda 111 hospital is operational. In any part of Ghana, I challenge you, not one is operational. Mr. Speaker, and it is worth disclosing that $400 million has already been disbursed under the Agenda 111 project. Mr. Speaker, at a rate of approximately $80 million per hospital, this $400 million spent could have completed and made operational at least 22 of those hospitals.
Well, speaking to Elton Brobe on the Pulse, Dr. Nsiah-Asare insisted that the funding sources are well documented. He suggested that the health minister has not reviewed the documents or government is deliberately attempting to discredit the project.
Myself plus the consultants, we met the transition committee on the presidency. Honorable Oseche Mensah and Honorable Dr. Omani Buama were the co-chair. Honorable Agoja was also there. We met them, we made the team, we gave our report to them. They asked for more, some other clarification, we sent it to them. Government decided that the 101 or now 104 district hospitals plus the 2 zonal psychiatric hospitals will use our own revenue resources. The major source of revenue, which His Excellency the President says he doesn't know, which is in the handing over notes, one.
The sources of funding.
The sources of funding, one, is what you call the above budget formulary allocation, ABFA. 20% of the CAPEX, which is 70% of our oil revenue. Anytime we lift oil, 20% of the 70%, the rest goes into the Heritage Fund for Agenda 111. And then direct budgetary allocation. So there's a source
of funding,
which means that anytime oil is lifted, if they will put it in the budget.
And is it indicated in the handover notes?
It's in the handing over.
So what, somebody is not reading or what? I don't
understand. Either somebody is not reading or not. Even, let me tell you, His Excellency the President, when he met the Monday before the State of the Nation, he met the churches, and he said that we need 1.7 billion to complete Agenda 111. And I was asking myself, where from this figure? When we were writing the handover notes, because we started preparing it in October, at the end of October 2024, it was $1.407 billion to complete. As at the end of 31st of December 2024, we've done some payments. So it's 1.377 billion. It's not 1.7 something billion that he's talking about.
Fact check the claims by both President Mahama and Dr. Nsiah-Asare. Lead data and research analyst again, Isaac Ofieje, is here to help fact check. Are there discrepancies or not?
Well, I mean, the focus now is to whether we had dedicated funding for Agenda 111 as stated by the President, who said that there is no dedicated funding for the project. Now, per our independent checks, what we found that what the President claimed can be or is actually misleading. In the sense that if you look at the Agenda 111 project, definitely the funding source isn't just one, right? But there is a dedicated funding source for the project. And if you comb through the various budget documents, you will find it there. So the first indication we got was in the 2024 budget, where if you look at the, just like, Dr. Nsiah-Asare said that our, petroleum revenue, a portion goes into the financing of Agenda 111. That is the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund, which is called the GIF. And we know that in 2024, if you look at between January and September, a total amount of $362.39 million was actually earmarked or transferred into the District Assembly Common Fund. Now, if you break this down, you will know that about 50.73 million of that money went into the GIF. For what? For Agenda 111 projects, and 77.5 million for other projects, right? So that tells you that there is a dedicated funding source that monies come from to fund Agenda 111. The next slide now also gives us an indication that it is not just one-time transfers from the GIF account or from the petroleum account into the GIF account. If you come to the 2024 mid-year budget, there's also another clear indication that states that another amount of some 28.8 million Ghana cedis went into or transferred into GIF for Agenda 111 project. That period, there was some 76.78 million that was allocated for GIF, and almost $29 million of that went into
out of the
76.79 million dollars, almost $29 million went into GIF for Agenda 111. So it will be misleading for anybody to say that there isn't any dedicated funding source for the project. Maybe not one dedicated funding source, but definitely there is a dedicated funding source.
Were we able to check at least whether the outstanding cost needed to complete the project is the same?
Unfortunately, data around Agenda 111 has been very scarce. It's difficult to actually put together everything. So we are still checking. We will definitely find something and put clarity to the various claims that have been made so far.
Thank you, Kofi.